Hello everyone, welcome everyone to this Youth Daily. My name is Andrea Chavarri. I work with the social network team at the GLF and I want to welcome you all to the second Youth Daily Show, YDS, of the GLF Amazonia Digital Conference. We are very happy to have you here with us. I am sure you're connecting from many parts of the world. Many thanks. Today we are going to learn about amazing and ecopreneurship initiatives in the Amazon region from two incredibly inspiring women from Peru and Ecuador. Before diving into the conversation, we would love to play a game with you guys. This is going to be something very quick. We would like to have some interaction with you. Please go to slido.com and enter code 294343, the one that you see on the screen, 294343 on slido.com to participate in our quiz. The first question is, do you know what sapa means? Is it a leaf, a seed, a vegetable, or a fruit? Please put your answer on the slider. In the meantime, we want to do things differently today because we have the winner of the second place of the Amazonia Storytelling Contest. She's going to be here with us very soon. And it is my pleasure to present Mary Ruby Putidia from Ecuador. Thank you very much for being here with us. We would like to start the session with an amazing video that Mary has prepared. This is the video that has been awarded the second place of the Amazonia Storytelling Contest. And after the video, we're going to have a look at the answers for the quiz. My name is Maria Tipiaga. I study filmmaking at the University of Arts, ICOM Municipality of Mona Santiago. I am here to talk about chapa, also known as chilpe. Tools have helped humankind right from the beginning. In the Shuag community, we have used a tool for many years. Zapa, or known also as pilche, is a bush with a fruit. And this has inspired many people to make beverage containers, soups, and it is also used while while bathing. This is a container friendly with the environment. The purpose of this product is to be sustainable in different crops, in different areas. This type of container is of benefit for handcraftsmen, and the purpose of is to preserve our ideas. This product wants to promote chapa as an ecological container. Well, that was Mary's video. It seems that sapa is a fruit, actually. That's the answer, and 40% of you got that right in the quiz. So right now, it is my pleasure to introduce our speakers of the day. We have with us Sofia Rubio, founder of Shiwi, a special enterprise that turns Peruvian biodiversity into market opportunities. And we also have Maria Utitiar, a young filmmaker and ecopreneur from Ecuador. Sophie, Mary, it is great to have you here with us. Thank you very much for being here. First of all, maybe you can tell us about your history, about your background. So I have a question for you. Can you tell us who you are and what is the mission behind Shiwi in the case of Sofia and the project Capiruna? We're going to start with Sofia and then we're going to have Mary. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for the invitation. I am going to talk about Shiwi just a bit. My name is Sofia. I grew up in Mar de Dios, in the middle of the Amazon region in Peru. And when I was a child, I would go to the woodland with my father. Then we had the chance of acquiring a chestnut concession. That's the beginning of Shiwi. We collect chestnut in this reserve. It is a national reserve. The idea of Shiwi is to have different alternatives to generate added value for this seed, for chestnut, with a very high commercial value. But not many people know about this. They know chestnuts, but they don't know that it comes from a forest, and there is a lot of trading of this raw material. This is the chestnut. Look at it. It is better to show it to you. Shiwi wants to generate added value, high quality added value by means of the creation of products using chestnut right from the origin. We want to turn this into a global market. In Peru, we always used to get the remainders of exports, and our chestnuts were not very good quality, and we didn't have high quality added value products. At Shiwi, we produce oils, cold pressed oils, and these are impressive products. The diversity of the Amazonia is huge, and we are not really taking advantage of this diversity. Well, that's the purpose of Shiwi. Thank you, Sofia. Thank you very much. I think this is one of the keys of this conference. We need to find these type of stories. We need to find this potential in the region. Now, Mary, can you tell us about your background and the project that you are developing, the Capiruna project? Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Tupia. I study filmmaking at the University of Arts. I was born in Ecuador, and when I was little, I became interested in this type of knowledge, the knowledge of my forefathers. Capiruna is a tree. It is a clean tree. It's a serene tree. It provided peace to our forefathers. So I used the name for my project because it is something peaceful, something that I can work with the community. We have a number of blogs in the Capiruna project. The mission of the project is, well, to bring together handcraftsmen in order to share this knowledge, this ancient knowledge, and because it's not only we can in order to eat we can use other things, other materials apart from plastic. We can use biodegradable materials like this fruit, like the tsuapa. This one here. Look at this. This is the container, the tsuapa container. And I don't know if you can see the colors and the images on the container, but well, this is the mission. We want to promote the use of this type of biodegradable containers. Thank you very much, Mary. It is very necessary to transfer this knowledge to newer generations. This is something crucial in order to preserve biodiversity in the region. Before the YDS, I mentioned that maybe you can show the what's behind your ideas. We would like to learn about the story behind your projects. Why do you choose these type of products? So, Sophia, can you tell us how do you, how you decided to use chestnut as the main ingredient of this project? Well, shiwi first started in national protected areas. As human beings, we all agree on something. We need to preserve life. We need to preserve a little bit of life by means of national parks. This is what we are doing. This is one of the fundamentals of Kiwi. We want to use resources from protected areas by providing an added value. That's why we use chestnut. We also have honey and coconut oil. We started with chestnut in the city of Bambotata. Chestnut is a wild tree. It can be as old as 500 years old. It is a huge type of tree, and it continues producing even after hundreds of years. It is also an ecologically complex species. I am a biologist. I like rodents. The rodents take the chestnuts, they bury the chestnuts, and these chestnuts become trees. And then the bees pollinize the tree with their systems. So the campaign, well, the chestnut is not really a crop. It is not like other type of crops that use a lot of water. So when people start healthy diets, using ingredients from another countries, well, they don't actually see what they have in their environment, in their surrounding area. So this company is very important in this sense. We are giving a delicious product to the community. I like chestnut not only because it is delicious, but also because of its commercial value. You can find chestnuts everywhere, but not many people know that it comes from the Amazon region. And you said that chestnut, well, you are Peruvian, because you said that chestnut is delicious, but you're using a very particular, specific word, and I agree with you. Chestnut has a commercial value that is very well known in the world. Thank you for explaining what's behind your project. It is great to know that your enterprise has grown in this type of environment by promoting these natural products. Now, Mary, please tell us about Zapa and the value it has for you and for the community you live in. It was something very funny. When I was a child, I always saw my grandparents and mothers using the tapa. Once I saw my mother using the tapa in order to take rice out of the bag. We went to the ranch. We didn't have plates. We didn't have spoons. And my mother says, "Oh, what are we going to do without spoons?" And I said, "No, we have the tapa or pinches. We also call them pinches." That day we made chicken soup and we used the sapa as a plate, as a container. And I thought to myself, if I can use these to eat hot soup, and I can use it to for rice, well, I mean, I am sure this type of this container can be used in different ways. Maybe we can change the design. It can be used for something else. So I said to myself, this is actually a plate. This is something that I need to further develop. And I am also studying cinema, so I thought to myself, I can do both things. I have to use cinema in order to promote the use of this container. Now, talking about the value this product has for my culture. On the containers, on the pinches, on the tapas, we have different designs, and these designs have tell a history. So I think this is something very significant because we always have designs on the container. It is not only about designing just because of it, because we like it. No, we are designing because something happened to us, because this represents this story of the community. So that's the value that we have on this product, and that's why it is so precious to us. It is not only a tool to eat from or to use it as a tool. It is incredible that you have been able to integrate different aspects of your life into something tangible, something that provides further value to the community where you live. And right now we are sharing here with you, and that's something very nice. Both projects are at different stages, but they have something in common. You work with local communities very closely. Mary, can you tell us the different practices and values that you need in order to have a good relationship with local communities in order to guarantee a beneficial project? Yeah, sure. First of all, we have to create awareness in the community. Before going to other communities, we have to generate this interest. That's why we have the best handcrafters. This tree is almost everywhere. So we need to use this fruit, a fruit that we can get all year round. And this is also a cultural factor, because I have come to realize that many people in my community are already using plastic, and we have to let them know that they need to use what's ours and to add a value by means of the designs, by means of the stories the designs represent. Thank you. And Sophia, what can you tell us about the work that you are doing with the communities? Well, let me tell you that Shiwi started with chestnuts. Yes, that was like our pilot test, an adventure that we started 10 years ago. We used this product. This product was being sent elsewhere, and we were not actually using the chestnut. So I thought that was very important. And then we realized that the project actually worked. It was a means of sharing our knowledge. So we started going to different fairs, to different exhibitions in order to share what we were doing locally. At a given time, it was not necessary to say, oh, this is working for chestnut, for pambopata. Maybe this can work for other protected areas, for other forest products, because we have thousands of species. So if there is someone doing something specific, well, that's how we started. And we started creating other networks with protecting agencies, protecting entities in other parts of the Peruvian Amazon region. Whitman, Bionican, Leica, they have got different private preservation areas. So it is like a network of producers, a network that is working together to preserve products. And it is just like this. We'll grow. It's a win-win situation. It is a shared growth. It is great to see how a project is born in a community and then it grows and it can be expanded to other communities. Sometimes we talk about the responsibility of consumers. Consumers need to be aware of what they are using and the means that were used to produce them. And producers need to have sustainable methods, sustainable for them and for the planet. So what do you think about this? Do you think there's a message that you would like to tell your producers? Sophia, can we start with you this time? A message to the producers? Well, you have mentioned something very important, the consumers. There's something that we have done. We have been educating consumers. We want them to be more aware. In our countries, we need to work on this specific area to educate consumers. Now, when it comes to producers, well, they are very wise because they are closer to nature. Most of the times, they know how to manage nature. Those who are not that close, well, they are like the middlemen. They use the resources, but they are not really in contact with nature, and they do not respect nature. So I would say to the producers that they need to develop values, they need to be stronger to design products that they can share. Obviously, they have to use those products themselves and then add a value, just like everything. And Mary, what would you tell your producers or members of other communities? First, they have to really value the resources that they've got, and they need to participate. We have to encourage them to participate if they have something to replace plastic. Obviously, we're not going to convince everyone right away. This takes time, but there are different ideas that they can participate with in order to improve the environment. And I think that's the core of what we do. We're trying to preserve the environment, so thank you very much for sharing these ideas with us. We have been receiving some questions from the audience. So we are going to read one of these questions. Is it possible for big companies to adopt a sustainable business model, a model that is socially responsible? Let's start with Sophia. What do you think about this? Or do you think companies can do this? I don't. I think it is not only possible, it is unnecessary. We need big companies, and let us remember that they are big players on the planet. We need big companies to start changing some of their practices. They need to include more biodiversity. And I think this is one of the most important aspects. They need to include biodiversity, they need to include nature and people as part of their systems. And many companies are doing this, many companies have understood the message. And we need to understand the wealth of these companies in a different way. it is not only about the economic growth. A good performance can be measured in different ways. Yes, the only way the way of measuring success is not always growth. Mary, do you think companies can adopt a socially responsible and sustainable business model? Can you give us a short answer? I think they can. As Sophia was saying, we need to improve these practices. We need to look at, I don't know, to tell you the truth, I am not very much into this field. We really needed to think about the damage to the environment, and I think they can do it. And this is what we have been trying to mention in this conference. If you have more time to participate in the different sessions, that would be great. Sophia, Mary, and the audience, we are trying to look for different solutions that actually come from the communities. I only want to thank you, Mary, Sophia, thank you very much for being here with us. It was a pleasure to talk to you both, and it was a pleasure to connect with our audience. It was a great pleasure to learn a little bit more about your initiatives and your experience. So, thank you very much for sharing these 30 minutes with our Youth Daily Show during this conference. And now I have a last question for you, and you can answer this in 1 minute. What are the recommendations for young people, those who want to start a sustainable business like you? Sophia, can you tell us? Can you can you give us a bit of advice for those who are trying to start a sustainable project? Well, I think this is the best time to create things, to disrupt things. So young people need to be disruptive. They have to trust on their ideas. They have to trust their instinct. It all depends on their culture. And then they have to propose. And they have to remember the younger they are, the risk is not as damaging. So, and they have to include as much people as they can. I think this is the best time to do it. Thank you very much. So, Mary, what would be your advice to someone who wants to start a sustainable business? I think they have to look at their surroundings, because in their surroundings there are many things that are useful, and sometimes we don't realize. And it is not only about money. If you have the willingness to start, well, then go ahead and start your project. The rest will come. I think that the most difficult part is the first tripping, but then you can continue even stronger. So, trust and to look at the surroundings. It is very important to look at the surroundings. So, it is all about trust. It is about starting things right away with the project that represents a passion for you, something that will allow you to create something sustainable. Thank you both for your time. Thank you for sharing this second YDS. And this is at the end of the program, so I want to thank you very much. I want to thank the audience and Sophie and Mary. Remember that tomorrow we are going to have our third and final YDS. And our YDS will start at 11:45. in order to have a conversation about the experience of two activists involved in the climate movement of the region. So if you want to learn about what they have to say, please join us tomorrow. So we hope you have a great continuation of this conference, and tomorrow we'll learn who is the first place of the storytelling context. So enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you very much.